They ruled millions, commanded vast armies, and shaped the fate of continents, yet today their names are barely whispered. Buried beneath deserts, swallowed by jungles, erased from stone and memory, these were the lost empires that ruled the world in silence. No triumphant monuments stand for them, no grand parades remember their victories. Yet without them, the modern world would not exist. What if the greatest powers in history didn't fall with fire and conquest, but faded quietly, leaving only shadows behind? Stay with us until the end to uncover the forgotten rulers of humanity and subscribe now for more hidden history that time tried to erase. Long before familiar empires dominated textbooks, the world was already divided among unseen giants. In the valleys of the Indus River, cities rose with astonishing precision. Their streets aligned, their drainage systems unmatched for thousands of years. No palaces proclaimed kings. No towering statues demanded worship. Power moved silently, embedded in systems rather than symbols. Far to the south, in the Andes, stone roads stretched across mountains before the wheel was ever used, binding distant communities into a single living empire. And across the African Sahel, caravans crossed oceans of sand. Guided by empires whose wealth outshone Europe, yet whose voices history barely recorded, these civilizations did not announce themselves with spectacle. They governed through order, trade, and knowledge. Their leaders often ruled without divine theatrics, their authority woven into daily life rather than carved into legend. But silence can be dangerous. When history is written by those who shout the loudest, those who rule quietly risk being forgotten. As climates shifted, trade routes collapsed, and outsiders arrived hungry for dominance. The foundations of these empires began to tremble. Their strength was real but fragile, and the world was changing. At first, the signs were subtle. Rivers shifted course, breaking the lifelines of Indus cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Crops failed, populations drifted away, and once bustling streets emptied without a single recorded war. In the Americas, the Tiwanaku Empire, masters of high-altitude agriculture, faced decades of drought. Their ingenious farming systems, once unbeatable, began to fail. Stone temples stood firm, but faith in the system quietly cracked. Meanwhile, in Africa, great Zimbabwe thrived on gold and trade, its stone walls symbolizing wealth without written language to preserve its story. When trade networks shifted toward the coast, its power dissolved peacefully, almost invisibly. But danger was closing in. Silence invited conquest. As louder, more aggressive powers expanded, these empires were misjudged as weak or primitive. Spanish chroniclers could not comprehend societies without kings and gold crowns. European explorers dismissed stone cities in Africa as myths or foreign creations. The absence of written self-praise allowed others to rewrite their legacy. Entire civilizations were absorbed, their achievements credited to outsiders, their names lost to time. Then came the turning point. Not a single battle, not a burning capital, but a collective forgetting. The Indus script remains undeciphered, locking away voices forever. Tiwanaku's stones were repurposed by later empires, their meaning stripped. Great Zimbabwe was claimed by colonizers to be anything but African. The climax of their fall was not destruction but erasure. Humanity moved forward, unaware it was standing on the shoulders of silent giants. Yet silence does not mean insignificance. Modern urban planning echoes Indus engineering. Andean terrace farming feeds millions today. African trade systems laid the groundwork for global commerce. These lost empires shaped governance, sustainability, and social order in ways the world is only now rediscovering. Their restraint, their balance with nature, and their quiet authority challenge our obsession with spectacle and domination. The greatest lesson they leave behind is haunting and timeless. Power does not need to shout to change the world, but history may forget those who do. As we race toward louder futures, these lost empires remind us that silence can build greatness, but memory requires voices. If we fail to listen, we risk repeating the same fate, ruling briefly, then disappearing without a trace. Remember them. Share their story. And if you want more forgotten truths from the past, like, share, and subscribe, because history still has secrets to tell.